Hey, you guys, welcome to day 5 of Hot Topics and Cool Drinks. This event is created exclusively for adults 50 and over, especially for those of us who are corporate executives, past and present, entrepreneurs, educators, and family stewards, part of households that have invested in private education, people who understand that values, not trends, are what guide families. Each evening, we gather here to center ourselves in clarity and conversation. Every night includes a featured book that aligns with purpose, legacy, and awareness, a wellness tip for women who are navigating through menopause, a discussion about parenting in today's digital world where online cruelty, misinformation, and influence culture challenge everything that we've built. And yes, every night begins and ends with poetry from my book, She Shines Anyway, because grounding ourselves in intention is how we stay present and powerful. I'm your host, Antoinette Wolf, a corporate or a former corporate executive who has turned into a philanthropist, entrepreneur, licensed real estate agent, writer, and mother. And tonight we're talking about the lives that have been lost after speaking up about online abuse. Some people reported it, some tried to get help, some were ignored, and many never got a second chance. Before we go into the poem, let's go ahead and introduce tonight's drink that I have. Okay, I don't know what you guys have, but you know I have my drink here. I'm actually drinking Clearly Canadian, and tonight I'm drinking the Mountain Blackberry, and baby, this one is tasty. I love the strawberry one, but I think this is the runner-up for sure. Clearly Canadian, like I said. It is so good. So yeah, we were going to go into my book, okay? This is She Shines Anyway. This is 76 poems for the woman that refuses to dim her light. You can find this book on Amazon, or you can go to my website, which is what I prefer, bewellnesscenter.shop, and look in the library section. So this poem here is called High Frequency Woman. You can't fake peace, and I live in it. You can't mimic alignment. I walk in it. I don't chase chaos. I don't clean the noise. I attract calm because I made it my choice. I protect my vibration like it's sacred currency, because once I tuned in, I learned who couldn't sit near me. Low energy people get uncomfortable in high frequency spaces. They can't hide behind small talk when the air demands greatness. I'm not better, I'm tuned in, and not everyone can rise to the sound of their own fire. Do you guys like that one? If so, you know where you can find it, bewellnesscenter.shop. Okay, so tonight's topics include real life stories about individuals who died by suicide after reporting online cyberbullying, the dangers of digital neglect by schools, platforms, and institutions, the signs parents and professionals should never ignore, the role of AI in intentional parenting, and a deep dive into today's featured book, 40 Chances by Howard G. Buffett. And you know I'm going to end the night off with another poem, right? Okay. So the theme of tonight is they reported the abuse, then they died when speaking up isn't enough. And we're going to break down how high functioning, low self-esteem manifests in today's social media age, because bullying is fueling the teen and college mental health crisis. It really is. You know, I mentioned yesterday how I got sent a survey from our school, and today one of my assignments was actually was all about, online abuse, bullying online and on and offline. And I just want to be clear. I mean, it's apparent that there is a freaking national crisis out here, because it's like every other day my school, in some way, shape, or form, something's going on where they're focused on it, where they're trying to, I guess, let the kids know it's going to be okay. You're not alone. All right. So, I mean, obviously it's in my face, so it's in my heart. Anyway, let's move forward. Before we get into the book for tonight, I wanted just to say this. Our kids deserve to know that they're not the problem, and that it's the people that's doing the bullying. That's who the problem is. So the book that we're going to talk about, though, let's move on, is 40 Chances, Finding Hope in a Hungry World by Howard G. Buffett. Okay, let me show you guys this book. This is the book. Howard G. Buffett wrote it. And if you're not sure quite of who Howard Buffett is, Howard G. Buffett is the son of Warren Buffett, the legendary Oracle of Omaha, known as one of the most successful investors in history. Warren built an empire on long-term value investing, humility, and the belief that wealth should serve people, not the other way around. That belief was passed down to his children, but Howard took it in a completely different direction. So who exactly is this man? Instead of working in finance or running a hedge fund like his brother, Howard chose the path of farming and boots on the ground philanthropy. He runs a 1,500-acre family farm in Illinois and has traveled to over 130 countries, often unaccompanied, to understand the root cause of hunger, violence, and systematic poverty. He's not a theorist. He's a man who has physically walked the streets of cartel-controlled towns in Mexico, stood in burnt crop fields in Sudan, and helped reintroduce agriculture to post-conflict regions in Africa. He has also served as a UN ambassador against hunger, a volunteer sheriff's deputy, often working undercover in anti-gang units, chairman of the Howard G. Buffett Foundation, which has donated hundreds of millions to initiatives related to food security, conflict resolution, and public safety. His brother, Peter Buffett, is an Emmy-winning composer and author of Life is What You Make It, a beautiful book in its own right about legacy, meaning, and purpose. So, what 40 Chances, Finding Hope in a Hungry World covers is that the title comes from something a farmer had once told him, and that was that the average farmer gets about 40 growing seasons in a lifetime. That's 40 chances to get it right. Howard took the same philosophy and applied it to how we live, give, and build legacy. In his words, most of us only get about 40 real opportunities to make an impact that matters. Not 400, not unlimited. In 40 Chances, he shares deeply personal lessons from failing in his early philanthropic efforts, learning that aid without dignity is in fact control, the realization that being rich doesn't make your help meaningful, being invested does. Each of the 40 chapters offers a real-world story from places like Sierra Leone, Guatemala, Afghanistan, or the Appalachia, a failure or blind spot he encountered, what it taught him, and a model of ground level leadership from people who have very little but give everything. Practical principles for how business leaders, parents, and citizens can rethink value creation and legacy building. And why this book matters tonight is because 40 Chances is a reminder that impact has an expiration date. We think we have time to fix our children's emotional wounds, time to speak out, time to hold platforms or schools accountable, but most people run out of time without realizing it. If you only had 40 chances to shape your children, support your community, or stop a cycle of pain, what would you have done differently? Now, why I choose this book for you is I choose 40 Chances because it speaks directly to us as corporate leaders, parents, and grandparents who have come from families of deep values. People who don't just talk about legacy, we actually live it. This book is not just a recommendation, it's a roadmap. It's available everywhere. You know, places like Target, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and you know I'm covering it, BeWellnessCenter.shop. So Get you a copy of this. It's deep, it's beautiful, and it's worth a read. Okay, let's take a sip of our drink. And I'm going to just take a moment to have a wellness break for the ladies that's joining me tonight that's going through menopause. This is the tip for the night, ladies. Tonight's wellness reminder is this. During menopause, your hormonal shifts affect everything: your mood, metabolism, heart, health, and bone density. Stay proactive about your health, and that means walking or light movement every single day, making magnesium, calcium, and hydration a priority, scheduling those heart health screenings you've been putting off. Why? Because the choices that we make today influence clarity, calm, and power that we can carry into our 60s and 70s, 80s and 90s. You got it? So let's keep going, ladies. All right. Now let me take another sip real quick, and I want to talk about why people like that I've been talking about this week, like Hillary Clinton, Melinda Gates and Howard Buffett, why real life role models still actually matter, especially for us parents and grandparents. And in this digital age, we're reminding our children that real life role models like their parents and grandparents still matters. Influencers come and go, but family values are forever. Suicides linked to real-time online taunting is what I want to talk about now. I want to talk about some of the lives that we've lost due to online bullying. People like Adriana Cooch in 2023, she was harassed after a school hallway attack was posted online. Ronnie McNutt in 2020, he live streamed his death on Facebook. Megan Evans in the UK taunted repeatedly by online classmates. Chanel Clark in 2021 bullied online after body shaming attacks. Jaden R in 2022 died after weeks of TikTok harassment. And these are real world examples, all right? And real world examples of cruelty that exist would be school shootings since 2019 with online red flags, like the Oxford High School in Michigan, Robb Elementary School in Texas in 2022. Remember they killed all those babies? Children bringing weapons to school in places like Rich Neck, Virginia, where that little 6-year-old shot his first grade teacher. Texas Middle School in 2022. So many of these horrors are linked back to digital cruelty, reputations ruined, rumors spread, and kids isolated. And we cannot afford to ignore the warning signs, okay? Now, as I've mentioned before, I think several times actually, about my books, Do Your Job, which is in paperback and hardcover. These are workbooks for parents to work with their kids on. And I just want to say this real quick. I did use AI to edit this book in under an hour, a task that used to take a month. It's written for parents who are committed to using every single tool available to safeguard their children, especially in a world where algorithms know your kids better than you do. I also discuss more about the social science behind this book on my podcast, What We've Been Waiting For Unedited. It's essential that parents who've paid for education for multiple generations remember this. Integrity is not something that you throw away, especially because idiots misuse the privilege of having the internet. Do Your Job is available now on Amazon and BeWellnessCenter.shop. I'm going to go ahead and read one more poem from my book, and we're done for the night. Like I said, this is She Shines Anyway. 76 poems for the woman that refuses to dim her light. Let me read our final poem for the night, guys. Okay. Call it what you want. Call it what you want, baby. All right. So they call it arrogance because it doesn't ask for approval. They call it ego because it doesn't shrink. They call it too much because it doesn't flinch when stared at. They call it attitude because it walks like it knows something. But I call it earn. I call it unapologetic. I call it what happens when you survive, what was designed to silence you. So call it whatever helps you sleep. Just know this: I'm not showing off, I'm showing up. Okay? You like that one? I hope so. I hope that you like it so much that you go to BeWellnessCenter.shop and get you a copy for either yourself or someone that can use a boost. Okay? Now, tonight's recap, I'm just going to recap what we talked about tonight. We talked about the featured book, which is 40 Chances by Howard G. Buffett. Here it is. Finding Hope in a Hungry World. This is such a good book. A wellness tip for women. Okay, menopause and proactive health. Parenting in a digital world. Real life suicides linked to online bullying, school shootings, and online radicalization. Reminder of your power as a real life role model. The book Spotlight of Do Your Job, and She Shines Anyway. So I'm basically done for now. Okay. Now join us again tomorrow for another night of a featured book, a new menopause wellness tip, a powerful poem, and conversations for families over 50 who lead with values, not trends. That's all I got tonight. You know I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.